Hey there, Pastor Ace from Calvary Fellowship. Let me tell you first, Merry Christmas. I hope you're enjoying the season, and I want to take a little bit of time throughout the month to just remind you of what the season's all about. You know, this morning I was reading a little bit of Luke chapter 1, where we actually see the start of the famous Christmas story. And around verse 30, we see that the angel Gabriel is talking with Mary about how God has called her to be the one to give birth to the Messiah, the Savior of the world. And after this conversation in verse number 38, Mary responds by saying, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord. Be it unto me according to thy word." So in other words, she's saying, you know what, God, because this is from you, I accept the calling you've laid on my life. However, Mary would go through some difficult trials and circumstances because of this. She is a young woman, not married, but yet is pregnant, which society would have very much frowned upon back in that day. And so therefore she would have endured shame and humiliation and maybe even people making her feel guilty. And I thought about it, you know, sometimes in our lives there are things that God has called us to do, and guess what? It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean it will always be fun, but yet it is the calling that God has laid on our lives. And the reason why we should still accept it as Mary did is because at the end of the day, you know what, at the end of our lives even, as we look back at what God has done for us, through the calling he laid on our lives, we're going to realize it was all worth it. I imagine that when Mary gave birth to Jesus on that holy night, that she thought to herself, all of the things that I went through before, it's all worth it because of the honor that she was bestowed as being the one to be the mother of the Christ child. It's the same thing for you. Whatever it is God has called you to do, yeah, there might be difficulties, but it will be worth it in the end. Merry Christmas.